All right. Once again, welcome to tonight's session, which is a new members orientation / onboarding. We'll cover the rules, regulation, and operational MO of the Anchor Core 254 dedicated team. And this meeting is meant only for registered members. So do not send out the invitation link to people who you hope to get into the community. This is only for those who have registered. Right. So what's the purpose of this session? This session is to explain once again how this dedicated team works. Explain the mechanisms that protect and ensure the structure is maintained and able to deliver on all of the benefits to all of the partners. Also, the rules that the members of this platform have to abide by, especially rules concerning registration. And then the consequences of not complying to those rules. And finally, we will talk about our risk mitigation approach. So that will be the focus of tonight's session. Moving on. What is Anchor Core254 really all about? Like you all know, it's a dedicated 2x2 binary team. It is capped at 254 positions and 7 levels. It is designed to ensure continuity for partners in the dedicated structure so that we can move together into different business platforms and across different business platforms. So it's built for continuity. It's built to ensure that you can keep the members of your structure intact when you move from one platform to another. Once the slots are filled, it is not possible to increase them. It's not possible to reduce them. And once all the slots are filled, repositioning is not possible. Now that we are filling the slots, some people are still able to reposition. I will talk about that later. But once the slots are filled, repositioning becomes impossible. Now, what are the rules for the core? That is the first 7 levels of the structure. The core structure rules are, we would only have 7 levels in the core. We call it the core because it is made up of members of the dedicated team who have permanent positions. So those 254 positions in those 7 levels are permanent positions. Those slots are secured by payment. And the position becomes fixed after payment is made. And no member can displace another member. I will talk more about this in more details when I show you the illustrative diagram of the dedicated team. Now, after we have filled up the core, level 1 to 7, we have the activity layer. Activity layer, as the name implies, are those levels that bring in activity and move the core and ensure that the members in the core 7 levels continue to receive momentum from below, and there is a mechanism that ensures growth as well as sustainability and activity. This level 8 and 9, they are not essentially part of the fixed 7 positions because the people that will make up levels 8 and 9 will change as we move from platform to platform. The only people that will not change are the people in the first 7 levels. So those levels 8 and 9 are not part of the core. Neither are they permanent, and they are not positions that you pay for. Rather, they are built through advertisements and lead generation, which the administrators of the dedicated team will manage. Like I mentioned, the purpose of these levels are to bring in activity, to bring in momentum, volume, and to ensure sustainability and continuity. Now, let us talk about registration, because tonight happens to be the eve of the launch of one of the platforms that many of us here, in fact, all of us here, voted that we want to enter into as a team. Because you recall that I put a poll, a survey on the group, and I asked one question, that should we deploy this team structure on Micron Global, yes or no? Or would you rather continue with your previous sponsors on SWC? Everybody except one person voted to register this structure in Micron Global. And the only person that voted he wants to continue with his SWC sponsor, that sponsor is also part of this dedicated team. And that sponsor is actually the upline of that person on this dedicated team structure. So it therefore means that we have a unanimous decision across board to deploy on Micron Global. And so how to ensure the deployment is successful is what we will be discussing. Now, one rule that is very important is that we register as a team. Let me say that again. One rule that is very important in order to ensure the preservation of the integrity of this structure is that we register as a team. What does that mean? It means that we register into the platform that we want to go into as a collective unit. Members will be registered together, and the registration order is controlled. The administrators will coordinate the registration and the placement in order to protect the structure integrity. The structure integrity is basically the way and the manner in which people are going to be positioned in that metrics formation, so that the illustrative diagram that we have already created can be preserved in the platform we are entering into. Let me show you with visible illustration. You can see my screen. Put 2 on your chat. Let me know that you can see what is currently being displayed. Feedback, please. Awesome, thank you. Thank you for the feedback. So this structure and this placement in this hierarchical order is what we need to preserve as we go into the platform that we are going into. That therefore means that the people in positions in level 1 are going to be registered directly under the project coordinator and or team leader of the Anchor 254 project. The Anchor Core 254 team. As soon as the first account here is placed, the people in level 1 are registered, and if it is the platform where those people will need to do verification before they now get their own referral link, right? It therefore means that the people in level 2 will have to wait patiently and then get registered after these people in level 1 registration links are available. Now, the same thing applies to the next level. And in the order in which it is, I think I should probably show us a better illustration, because that illustration does not seem to be showing it as well as I want it to be shown. So let me use this one. Please confirm that you can see what is currently on my screen. First of all, I'm going to scale this down. I'm going to scale this down so that the entire thing is shown. I'm going to scale this down to the best possible or smallest possible size. Can we see what is on my screen right now? Please, can you give me feedback? I just closed the presentation and opened a different interface. So this one is more of a diagrammatic illustration that shows the order in which we were registered. And you can actually see the people under each level and under each position in the metrics. And this is something I'm going to dwell on for a few minutes before I move on. So if you can see this, just give me write number 2 in the chat, or give me a plus in the chat. When I get a plus, if you can see my screen. Thank you, Mr. Godwin. Please, I don't know if it's only Mr. Godwin that is on this call, but he's the only one giving feedback. So please, the rest of us, I'd like to know that we are all following. So I'm going to give a few minutes to get more feedback from. Okay, thank you. Thank you. This is much better. Right, let us move on. Now, let us first of all show in this manner what this dedicated team would look like. Now, first of all, the account of the team leader is going to be registered in the platform we are entering into. After that account is registered, the next account to be registered is the account in serial number 1.1. That account will be registered at the, is this left now, or this is the left-hand side of the main account. Then followed by account on level 1.2. That is level 1, slot 2. Now, after this account has been registered, if it needs to be verified, it therefore means that the people on level 2 will be patiently waiting for the link of Mr. Godwin and Mr. Ochena to be available before they register. They will not go and register themselves elsewhere. They will patiently wait for this structure to be replicated on the platform. So at this time, we will be following up with these particular partners to help them through the process of maybe verification and onboarding so that they can get their own link available to sponsor the next level. The next level will be the next level under this particular level 1. Now that's level 2. We will have 2.1. Let me scale this down a bit. Sorry, let me scale it up a little bit. So we'll have 2.1. 2.1 will be registered, followed by 2.2. Then for the accounts in level 1.2, we will register 2.3 and 2.4 under that account. I hope this makes sense. Now, after we have registered all the positions in level 2, all the 4 positions have been duly registered, we will now wait and verify all these people before we start registering level 3. Now, level 3.1 as well as 3.2 will be registered under 2.1. Does that make sense? And then we will also go on to sign level 3.3 and level 3.4 under the person that occupies slot 2.2. And then we move on and sign on 3.5 and 3.6 under the person in 2.3. And because the person in 2.3 is under the person in 1.2, it therefore means that the leg of Mr. Uchenna is also being built. As we build that of his downlines, his own legs are also being built, and depth is being brought in. Structure and volume is being brought in. Mind you, the same thing we will do on every platform we join, the same order of registration based on the position that you have already booked and paid for. Now, the person in 2.4 will sign up the person that is occupying 3.7 as well as 3.8. And then when we are finished entering in and registering all the people in level 3, they've done verification and onboarding, their links are available. We'll now move on to sign up 4.1 and 4.2 under 3.1. And then we will sign up 4.3 and 4.4 under 3.2. And then we will sign up 4.5 and 4.6 under 3.3. And then we will sign up 4.7 and 4.8 under 3.4. And then we will sign up 4.9 and 4.10 under 3.5. Sorry, I'm using the serial number and I'm using your ID code. I call it your ID code because every code in this structure is unique. When you have 4.10, you're not going to have another 4.10. So your ID, member ID, is basically the number of your level and your slots in the given metrics. So if, for example, you are 4.10, I can easily tell where you are and those who are under your structure. There is not going to be another person carrying, there will not be any two people carrying the same ID number. So we're going to have ID from 1.1, that is the person in position level 1, position 1, up to 7.128. That's the person in level 7, slot 128. Please, if that makes sense and you understand, just write making sense or something to indicate that you understand. Now, the person in 3.6 will sign up the person in 4.11 and 4.12. Person in 3.7 will sign on the person 4.13, 4.14. Now you will notice that the name here is the same. That's because this slot was booked by the same individual. However, it belongs to different people. However, those people's details are yet to be sent. That's why you see the name there is the same. This does not mean that one person can have multiple slots. No. Because if you want to enter into a platform that does not allow multiple accounts, that will become a problem. So you can only have one slot on the dedicated team so that we will not find it challenging when we want to replicate this in any platform. So we are trying to adapt as much as possible to be compliant with any given platform that we will join. Now, another thing that's very important here is that everyone getting into this team must be 18 and above. So if you want to buy slots for your children, make sure those are children that have reached at least 18 years of age. I hope that makes sense. I hope that is clear. All right, so let's move on. Now, the person in 3.8 will sign on persons in 4.15 and 4.16. And then when level 4 has been fully locked in, people in level 4 have gotten their sponsor link. And one other thing is that you will get the support, because we know that your movement is inimical and integral to the progression of the entire team. So we will not leave anybody behind. That's one most important thing that you need to consider. We will not leave anybody behind. We will not leave any stone unturned. We will not say the person in 4.15 is too slow, let us push him aside. No, we will make sure he does his verification. We will support him, because we know that he needs to do his verification so that the people that need to follow him will be able to follow him. So we will be supporting each other's growth, because we know that the success of one is the success of all. Now, person in 4.1, we sign on the person in 5.1 and 5.2. Although at this time, we don't have anybody in 5.2. We don't have anybody in 5.2. We have sold all the levels in 1, 2, 3, and 4. All the slots in levels 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's been amazing, guys. I tell you, just we started sales in 14th of February, and we have already sold out 3 levels. We only have level 5, 6, and 7. And I tell you, it's already been sold. For example, in level 6, we have 2 slots already paid for. In level 5, we also have 2 slots. I believe the let me see. I think someone bought a slot in 5.17. So 5.17 has been bought. Now, I want to point out something here very, very important for us to take note of. Now, if you want to pay for multiple slots, for example, this slot 5.7 is someone that belongs to the team of the person in 2.3, Mr. David. So Mr. David has been talking to this person about this dedicated structure formation, and the person eventually said, okay, no problem, I want to come on board. At that point, the position vacant under the team of Mr. David was in level 5. And so what did he do? He said, okay, take a position in level 5. Now, in level 5, serially, that man should have been placed in 5.2 if we are to follow the serial number. But hello, this is somebody that is in his team, and he wants that person to remain under his structure. So what happens? In order to put that person under the structure of Mr. David, he has to be put in 5.17 in order to maintain the structure of Mr. David. So you can bring your leaders under this structure and preserve the integrity of your team as we move from platform to platform, so that when we want to move into a new business platform, this person in 4.9, for example, Mrs. Oluwani Esther, should not start panicking that who will she go and meet to collect link from. She already relaxes her mind that the team will take care of the registration, and the team handles the registration. So the registration details that you are sending when you fill the form for registration into this team, if you read the participation agreement, you would see that you agree to certain. I hope you read it. You didn't just click I agree and submit it. I hope you actually read what you were agreeing to. You were agreeing that decisions that we will make about the platform we will join will be centralized decisions, that you will not say you no want do. You understand? Now, I will tell you the criteria we use for platform selection so that you can understand the things that we prioritize. However, it's going to be a collective decision. Everybody is getting into a particular platform together, right? So that's one of the conditions for participation in this team. Another condition is you are not going to go and register yourself and then create a problem where we want to sign you under the person that you're supposed to come under, and we are seeing the account has already been registered somewhere else. And we'll now start looking for ways to either bypass or look for who will fill that particular position, because when that position is vacant, it will affect the positions that need to be under that particular position. All right. If we are still together, give me plus. Just give me plus, thumbs up, something to let me know that you are following. Thank you. Thank you once again, Mr. Godwin. All right, so we are together and we are moving. Now, let me go back to the presentation slide. So what I was trying to illustrate, which I have just illustrated with that diagram, is what I was trying to put in this slide here. But I think that you understand. So let us move on. Now, one of the rules is that there is no personal sign-up. Please, you must not create personal accounts on a platform using a referral link from someone else that is not a member of the dedicated team. You are not to sign up before the admin tells you it is time to sign up. For example, people in level 3 are signing up when people in level 2 have not signed up. That will disorganize the structure. So please, we want to avoid this as much as possible. Now, especially in a platform that we as a team have agreed that we want to enter into together, and that platform does not allow one person to have multiple accounts. So creating personal accounts outside of the team on those platforms may lead to breakdown of the structure. And I'm sure you can understand why that will happen. So please, it's something that we, as much as possible, would like to avoid. Now, if you were to go ahead and register personally and independently outside of the team, what are the consequences? Because wherever there are rules, there have to be consequences. Okay, Mr. Uchena says we're only 9 here. So here's the beautiful thing about working with a small team. Very beautiful thing, I tell you. As we are 9 here, I still have many of you receive personal messages about this meeting from me. You see, everyone who has signed on has given me their contact details, WhatsApp phone numbers, and email addresses. So I can create a WhatsApp broadcast list with those phone numbers. I can create a broadcast email with those emails and write to them directly, showing them the summary of the events that we had this night, that even if they are not here, they can be carried along. We can communicate better. We can have more cohesion, more understanding when we are a small group. And you know, I honestly look forward to working with a small group, because when you have built systems to work with large audiences, when they now tell you work with a few, it is just so easy. Like, it is a breeze. I can tell you for free that I'm excitedly looking towards all that we will do together in this team, because I can say that it will be much easier to work with a small team that is focused on a vision and the goal is very clearly defined from the outset. You can achieve more results than when you want to work and carry everybody along. So it is not something that we will struggle to do, right? We will communicate all the information to all the partners. And one person mentioned to me that this is the Muslim period of fasting. 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. is time for prayers. And I did not consider that. I did not remember. In fact, I did not know that that is going to make it impossible for some people to join on the call. So we will send out the recording, the summary, and we will take everybody along and carry everybody along as much as possible. Now, if a member should sign up independently on a platform that we have decided to go into as a team, what will happen? Well, their position in the team will be forfeited on that particular platform. That's the consequence. You went to create an account on a platform you know that the team is about to register into, when we get to your position and we try to register you, it says you've already been registered. We'll skip over, and that is what will happen. You will forfeit your position in that platform. Okay. Please, I'll take questions at the end of the presentation. So we cannot rearrange the structure. If you change your position, it will affect everything that falls under you in that structure. And in order for us not to have to do that, everyone has to register in the order in which we have booked slots in the dedicated team metrics. Or at least wait until we give you a link and say, register under this person. And you know one beautiful thing? One very amazing thing is that we can forge relationships where you know the person that is going to be your upline at every given point. You know that, for example, Mr. Ochena is the person that you have always been registering under. At any given point you want to sign up and Mr. Ochena is available, you collect his link and you sign up. You can preserve relationships, and you only need to talk to the two people that are directly under you. At any given point, only those two people. If, for example, we want everybody to be in this Zoom call tonight, all I need to do is to ensure that those two people tell the next two people, and that is it. As the information spreads and everybody ensures that they bring those two to the meeting, we will get all the 254 people in this Zoom call. Simply because we will leverage the network that we have already created in this team. It becomes easier to communicate, easier to achieve results, and easier to make profit individually and collectively. Now, even if you unintentionally make a mistake, you did not know, somebody just took your information and signed you up, or you didn't know you were signing up, you were just, intentionally, unintentionally, if you have signed up on a platform you want to sign into, you will forfeit your position. However, in order not to be too strict, if we examine the error and we see that, it really looked as if it was not intentional, we can have a consideration for you. But this is in an exceptional case, and it only applies one time. One time. If we see that there's an error that we cannot reverse, you can nominate a person, maybe a family member, a friend, a spouse, a relative, to take your position in the place you're supposed to be registered in the team, in that particular platform that you've already created a personal account for yourself. We can ask you to nominate somebody that will take your position in the dedicated team and will register that person where you should have been. But this is only one time. We will only give this consideration once. If we see someone who has done this, we gave them consideration, they did it again, we will know that this person is intentional. So this allowance is not something you should repeat. As much as we want to ensure that we give you the benefit of what you have secured and apply this measure to be able to still let that benefit come to you or somebody you nominate, don't make it a habit to be registering yourself outside of this team, because you have actually accepted that this dedicated team and the terms and conditions of which it is terms and conditions of participation that constitute this team is binding on you as a member. So please, let us ensure we abide by those rules in order to preserve the integrity of what we are creating. Otherwise, we will not even be able to benefit from it at all. So if you continually violate our policy on no individual registration, but rather collective team registration, if you continually sign up outside the team and disrupt our structure and our registration order, then we will stop giving you consideration and you will face permanent eviction. We will tell you bye-bye, and we will not give you any refund. So there needs to be structured discipline, and that one is non-negotiable. Please, it takes each and every one of us to ensure that what we are building will serve the purpose for which we are building it. Now, let us talk a little bit about personal recruitment. Now, first of all, what is personal recruitment? Personal recruitment is the situation where you have somebody that is not a member of the dedicated team, but you have already registered in a platform and you want to bring that person under you. Apart from the people that are under you from the dedicated team, you still have people you want to bring under you. Is it allowed? Very much allowed. Very much allowed. But there's a but. When we are registering in a platform that operates a binary first metrics, that is, you only have 2 positions under you. If you put somebody else there, we cannot put another person there. It therefore means that the 2 vacancies under you must be filled by people in the dedicated team. It means for those first 7 levels, you should not recruit so that it does not affect the core placement of the first 7 levels in the order in which we have drawn it up. Don't recruit until we have done the registration of everybody that is already a part of the core. And after that, you can start recruiting. And recruitment should not affect the core so that it does not change people's levels or create new slots or remove people in the position that they're supposed to be. So you should only recruit in platforms, for example, where there is a free metrics and your first level does not have limited positions under it. So those first binary metrics where you only have 2 positions under you in a particular structure, hold on with recruitment until we have done the initial registration so that your recruitment will only add volume and spillover, creating spillovers and spill-unders, and the structure itself stays fixed. All right? Now, the administrators, they are the ones who will manage advertisement and lead generation, presentation and training, registrations and onboarding, communication and moderation. Decisions we will take together will be centralized decisions. The roles that we are going to assign responsibilities that we can measure, and we are going to track performance. In fact, I scheduled a Zoom session for routine reporting because as we are collating resources together, making expenses, there is the need for accountability. For us to meet each other like this and say, see what we did and see what we have left. See the things we have done with the resources that we got, see the results we got, etc. That transparency and accountability, we need to schedule a routine for the reporting of all the activities that we are carrying out. For example, we paid for the registration of this as a legal entity, and that expense, as well as the revenue that has been generated, we need to come and give account. Because they say if you are faithful in little things, you'll be set over great estate. So we want to show accountability and transparency as much as possible. It is a biblical principle. And if you honor those principles, the promises attached to those principles will follow you. If you are faithful in little things, you will see growth. You will see elevation. It's not even a matter of whether you are praying or not. You can be the worst atheist. Just honor the principles of the universe, of nature, and they are in the Bible. And you will see the doors that will open for you. So that's just an aside. So like I mentioned before, decisions are going to be centralized. Now, We will do business on multiple platforms, as you all know. What, therefore, will be our platform selection policy? Are we just going to randomly hop in on every single platform that we see? Because I know that some of you are joining this team. You already have businesses you are into, and you would like to tell us, let us come on board in that business platform. Good and fine. But will we come on board? Yes or no? It's based on our platform selection policy. Now, the evaluation of platform will be based on criteria such as sustainability, stability over time, the risk threshold of that particular business, and the ability to protect the structure we have created and help us to make the most advantage for the members of our team. So the goal when we are selecting a platform is mitigation of risk, sustainability, a platform that can ensure long-term continuity, and have fewer disruptions. We know that we are building something that will survive platform collapse. We are building this essentially because we don't want it to be that when we have built business on a platform, it has issues and we lose our business that we have built and our structure that we have built. But still, we don't want to be entering platforms that will be having disruptions, 6 months lifespan, and the thing is gone. No. So our criteria will be sustainability, long-term stability, low risk threshold, and the ability to shield the members of our team and protect our structure. When we now approve a platform and say we are entering into this one, every member of this team retains the same position that they have in the team structure in the platform that we enter, because we will do the registration following the order in which you have already booked your slots. And everybody keeps the same position they have, same level. You have the same structure, the same people you were seeing under you in that first business, you will see them under you in the next one. And if a platform should change or a platform should fail, what do? We will move intact. Nobody's rebuilding, nobody is starting from zero. Now, like you already know, there is annual subscription to ensure continued participation in the team. Why do you have to pay for an annual subscription? Why don't you just pay once and that becomes your permanent membership ticket? Well, expenses that we will incur are not one-time payment expenses. If, for example, we are going to run advertisement when we join a particular business in order to fill level 7 and 8, sorry, level 8 and 9, we will expend money. We will come and report and say, look what has been spent, look at what we have generated, look at where we have been able to get to in terms of recruitment of level 8 and 9 in this particular platform. Ladies and gentlemen, at a point, the money will finish. And we may or may not have achieved that objective on all the platforms that we have joined. Please note, it's possible that we have started the registration of people in level 8 and 9 and we exhaust our money and we have not filled up all the slots. It is very possible, because these are not things that you can say, you can calculate the exact amount of advert budget and advert spend that will give you a particular result. It's not mathematical at all. As a matter of fact, the variables that account for whether somebody will see something and buy are the advert creative, the buying power of the purchasing power of the person at that particular time they are seeing that particular offer, the mental state of the person, the mood. Many factors can influence buying decision. Even the consistency of follow-up. All those factors are things that can either make or mar the buying or the buyer's journey. So at the end of the day, we are talking about getting 768 people in levels 8 and 9. It's not an easy task. And we only have a limited resource to do that. So if that money finishes, you need to bring that money back in to continue running that engine. It's like when your fuel finishes in your generator, you will refuel, otherwise you will not have light. I was preparing for this meeting, preparing slides. Before you know, NEPA took the light. I had to go out, pour fuel in the generator, turned on the gen. I came into the meeting 2 minutes before the meeting started because I had to be out there turning on the. I'm currently on generator light. So the fuel now, as I've poured it, I'm using it. When it finishes, I will replace it. And that's the same reason why we need an annual subscription for the members, so that we can also review whether we are actually serving this community by checking whether they are coming back to resubscribe and renew their membership. So if you don't like what we are doing, you have 1 year to test the product. And after 1 year, you say, I don't really like what they happen for here, or these people, they are too one kind. I don't want to be a part of them. You can leave. Yes, you have that right. But if you now say you want to continue after that 1 year, you will have to pay again, either in installments or full payments. And I'm sure if you have enjoyed the benefit for the 1 year, that payment will not be an issue for you. Because although we do not make profit as a collective unit, but in every platform we are entering, the individuals themselves will make profit for themselves individually. Let me say that again. See, we are not profit making because this entity, it does not make profit for itself. For example, if we go into a particular business, the entity Anchor Core254 making profit, there is no channel for which this entity is making profit because all the money generated is being used for advertisement to ensure that the members, you and I, making up the membership individually will make profit for yourself. So as a collective, there is no profit being made. So that is the reason why, if you have now made that profit individually for yourself, you can now decide, I want to continue or I don't want to continue. Up to you. Does that make sense? Talk to me, please. You can just react. Thumbs up if it makes sense. Thumbs down if it doesn't. Awesome. Thank you. I see that the participant number has increased to 12. All right, so let us move on. If you do not pay for your annual subscription, now you might notice that when you make payment, when I fill the form, I put the date of payment so that we will know when will be the date of renewal of that payment. Everyone started on the 14th of February, started the payment in, registration payments were made from the 14th of January. That was when participants started to book slots in this dedicated team structure. So from the 14th of January 2027, that's when participants will begin the process of renewal of their membership commitment. Your membership expires the same date as when you made payments to activate your subscription. So please take note of that date. We're also taking notes and we will inform you at what point you will need to renew. We will inform you also at what point something came to my mind just now. Well, if it comes again, I will mention it. But yes, we will inform you there will be options to pay in installments, and we will help you to track your instrumental payment and probably give you a plan that works for you. But I believe that it's not going to be a challenge to reactivate your subscription. Now, if, for example, you do not pay your subscription after it elapses, what will happen? We will not remove you from your position. We will only stop giving you access to the new platforms that we join. So if we enter into a platform during the time your subscription is inactive, you will miss that platform. But you will retain your position so that when you pay your access fee, any other platform we're entering, you can participate in it. But please note, this clause is subject to change. Because if we check it that people are not paying their subscription, they are just sitting idle in the positions that they have retained, we may have to evict and replace those partners. All right. Now, please note, in this dedicated team structure, we are securing position, we are securing priority, and we are securing continuity. Or rather, that's what we are providing. We are providing the positions, the placement in terms of priority, maintenance of your team structural integrity, and ensuring continuity of your structure in every business that you enter into. But we're not guaranteeing any particular amount of income will be made by engaging in this. Neither are we saying that this is the amount of profit you'll be making. There is no such guarantee here. We go into different platforms together. Your income in that platform will be totally dependent on many other variables, not just the structure that is under you. So there are no guarantees of income or profit or performance. However, we are guaranteeing your position, the structure, continuity, and the resources we will get, we will use it for advertisement and give you reports so that you can see what your money is doing. Now, finally, membership, conduct, and confidentiality. Please note, if we enter into a platform, all the rules that apply to that platform should be followed. If that platform has the way they want to be represented, the way they want their image and their brands to be represented, please avoid misrepresentation. Don't do aggressive marketing in any platform that we get into. As a member of this dedicated team, please ensure that you follow the image regulation of any platform that we enter. Avoid misrepresentation. And then this is our strategy. This is our internal strategy. Please protect it. Don't go out there and start telling people this is what we do in the dedicated team. If they want to know what we do, let them join us and see for themselves. And then also, please ensure you respect the admin's coordination. As the admins are bringing suggestions for the betterment and the effective management of the team, please give them your cooperation, as any violation can result in removal. Please take note. In summary, we offer fixed position across platform, engineered activity by recruiting levels 8 and 9 through lead generation and advertisement, and we ensure the continuity of your structure even if a platform should fail. So we ensure business continuity. This is business continuity, not platform continuity. Platforms can change their policies, but business should not die as a result. We want to ensure business continuity. And in exchange, you as the member, you must give us your discipline, your patience, and your compliance. Patience because we will register in the order in which we are currently entering into the dedicated team. So you may need to be patient because it will be turn by turn. So the structure comes first, and the structure always comes first. The team before the individual. So you did not join the team in order to act alone. You join this team in order to move together. So you follow the process, protect the structure, and allow the system to do its work. Thank you, and God bless you. Questions?